But listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh,
we're
don't
not
speak over me.
corporation.
Miss Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Miss Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
Where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
All right, everyone, today we've got a courtroom standoff that's about as dramatic as it gets. A firm and focused judge is about to face off with someone claiming to be a sovereign citizen and, trust me, it's one for the books. The defendant walked in confidently, holding what looked like a small sheet of paper filled with some so-called legal phrases. She clearly believed she was holding a secret weapon, like that piece of paper alone could overturn the entire justice system in her favor, from the way she presented herself. It's obvious she thought she could say a few buzzwords, drop some so-called legal facts, and walk right out of that courtroom untouched. No arrest, no accountability, just a mic drop moment. But that's not what happened. To be honest, it's wild watching someone walk in this unprepared yet so certain they've found a loophole. It's a bold strategy, one that crashes and burns. Almost immediately, stick around as we walk through every moment of this heated exchange. And don't forget, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think she really believed this would work? Let's jump into the footage and see exactly how this courtroom clash unfolds.
Good morning. Are you Janetta Pugh?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right. So, Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself, or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you, or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it, and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus, and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel to effective defense.
It's overruled.
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
No doubt about it, this moment is hard to watch without shaking your head. The courtroom is tense, but the judge remains calm and composed, simply waiting for the defendant to finish rattling off her so-called legal defense. You can almost see the judge thinking, let's just let her talk herself into a corner. What makes this even more fascinating is how confident the defendant seems. She's leaning hard into the typical sovereign citizen script, talking about consent, jurisdiction, and misused legal terms, as if she genuinely believes she's found a secret legal shortcut. But here's the truth. Courts across the country have repeatedly ruled that these arguments hold zero legal weight. Just saying I don't consent doesn't make criminal charges vanish. There's this strange moment where you almost want to root for her. She's polite, saying Your Honor, trying to appear respectful, but you can also tell she's completely out of her depth. It's like she memorized lines without understanding the basics of how the legal system works. I do find myself wondering what led her down this path. Was it online forums? A few viral videos? She seems like someone who means well but got caught in the wrong echo chamber. And now she's stuck trying to sound like a legal expert in a room. It's full of people who actually know the law. Let me know in the comments if you think she truly believed this strategy could work, or if she was just trying to avoid consequences. Either way, there's still more drama ahead, so let's jump back into this unfolding courtroom moment.
So here's the thing, Miss Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh,
with
don't
my
speak over me.
incarceration, respectfully, Your Honor, with my incarceration being
Miss
solved,
Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer. And your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I do not agree or comply to your appointed
Go back.
agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled.
Is to the state.
Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
That was definitely a train wreck. But hang on, 'cause we're not done yet. Believe it or not, this same sovereign citizen makes a return appearance at a follow-up hearing. And yes, don't worry, I've got the full footage of that one too. Let's just say, the second round doesn't go any smoother than the first, honestly. At this point, the judge deserves some kind of lifetime achievement award for patience. Sitting through sovereign citizen arguments isn't easy, especially when the person delivering them thinks they've outsmarted the entire legal system with a few internet quotes. It's like debating a wall, except the wall is confidently citing the Constitution. Still, credit where it's due, the judge remains composed and professional throughout. There are moments where you can tell she's frustrated, but she never loses control. She calmly listens, responds with clarity, and somehow manages to keep the courtroom on track despite the chaos unfolding in front of her. What's surprising is how balanced her tone remains. She's firm, sure, but also gives the defendant space to speak. She doesn't humiliate her. She just lets the logic fall apart on its own. Personally, I think she's doing a remarkable job handling a very tough situation with grace. But what do you think? Is the judge being too patient toward just playing the long game here? Either way, it's time to check out the second hearing and see if things spiral even further. Let's get into it.
Perfect. So, Miss Pugh, Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of your appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
And for the record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me. If you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today. If that's what you want to do, we'll get your case set for trial and we'll go forward that way. it is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you're expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of things couple of options, and we'll go over those as well. Okay. So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required. All right. So have you ever studied the law? Okay. Have you ever represented yourself before in any kind of criminal matter? Okay. Do you understand the charges against you?
I never been accused of it.
Okay. And so do you know, and we've gone over before, I think, what the range of punishment is if you're found guilty on a jury? Do you know what that is? Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up here. We'll go over that again as well. The date of that allegations from June 22nd of 2021. And what that means is if you're found guilty, that the range of punishment that the jury could give you is between 2 years as a minimum punishment up to 10 years in prison, anywhere in between. Do you understand? And you answer out loud just for the record.
Do I understand? No, I don't understand.
What do you not understand about that?
I kid you not, saw that moment coming from a mile away. At this point, I've spent so much time watching these sovereign citizen cases, I can practically predict their next move before they even open their mouths. It's like they all pulled their logic from the same bizarre instruction manual. Honestly, though, it's starting to take a toll. Breaking down these cases every day feels like a mental marathon. The circular arguments, the made-up laws, the refusal to recognize the court, it's exhausting. And while it may look funny on the surface, there's a deeper problem beneath it all that's hard to ignore. These individuals aren't just making wild claims, they're also draining court, time, and public resources. Judges, prosecutors, law enforcement, everyone in that courtroom has a job to do. And sovereign citizens show up acting like the system doesn't apply to them. It slows everything down and wastes taxpayer dollars. And here's another twist. I wasn't expecting this time around. The defendant didn't even bring that printed script she used in her first hearing. Maybe a few days in county custody gave her enough time to memorize a tour. Maybe she's switching tactics altogether. But if she's thinking of representing herself in a case this serious, things could go south real fast. Based on the charges, she could be looking at 8 to 10 years behind bars. So let's head back into the courtroom and find out, does she plan to take on the state by herself? If so, it's going to be a tough road ahead.
I don't understand, Ronnie.
So here's the thing. If you want to represent yourself by law, you have to be able to understand these things. Otherwise, I've got to appoint an attorney for you. So you can't just say, I want to represent myself because I don't like the attorney or I don't like the process. This is the process that you're in. You live in Texas, you live in the United States. This is the law that applies to your case. So what do you not understand about the range of punishment if you're found guilty? And I'd be glad to explain it.
I don't understand because I haven't did anything wrong.
That's what a jury's for, right? And so if you say you're not guilty, then you go in front of a jury and they determine, after they listen to the evidence, if you're guilty or not. That doesn't have anything to do with, if they find you guilty, you understanding that they could send you to prison for between 2 years and up to 10 years. Do you understand that part? What are you, yes or no? No, you don't understand that. So, Ms. Pugh, it's my understanding I'm not going to allow you to represent yourself because you don't understand the law and the process. So we're on question number 4 out of 15 that I'm supposed to ask you. So Mr. Jeffries is going to stay on your case.
I do not want Mr. Jeffries on my.
I don't care what you want at this point. You can't do it. All right, you can go back with the bailiff. I'm done. Go back with the bailiff.
He's not on my case.
Go back with the bailiff.
He's not on my case.
Welcome to the criminal appointment list.
Yeah, fun, Judge.
This was not meant to be any kind of punishment, I promise. So Mr. Jeffries, get ready like you would. Probably it's going to go straight onto a jury.
Right, I would
And
assume.
we'll just get it figured out that way. All right.
I have to say this judge absolutely delivered a masterclass in courtroom control. In my opinion, she handled the situation with a perfect blend of firmness and fairness. Oh, let me know in the comments if you think otherwise, but from what I saw, she gave the defendant every possible chance to be heard. Before finally putting her foot down and removing her from the courtroom, what stood out most was the judge's remarkable patience. Many of us probably would have lost our composure within the first 10 minutes, but not her. She kept her tone steady, stayed respectful, and genuinely tried to guide the defendant through the legal process, despite the bizarre arguments being thrown her way at the same time. There's a part of this that feels a little sad to watch. You could tell the judge was trying to give this woman an opportunity to explain herself and take the hearing seriously. But with every passing minute, it became clearer that the sovereign citizen routine was leading nowhere fast. Now, if any of you felt like you lost a few brain cells watching that unfold, totally get it. These moments are hard to follow logically, but you just can't look away. It's frustrating, it's awkward, but it's also weirdly fascinating watching someone try to talk law. With absolutely no legal footing, and let's be honest, watching. The mental gymnastics unfold as she struggled to answer basic questions was something else. It was like watching someone try to moonwalk out of a corner. But without rhythm or direction. A total collapse. So what did you think of how the judge handled this one? Drop your thoughts below. Always love hearing your takes. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got fresh content coming at you daily, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everyone.